Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Hugg, and I'm coming to you from our downtown Reading office with an exciting announcement today. The Berks Weekly Mobile App is now available for download on iOS and Android devices in the Google Play Store and the App Store. And it's something I've been working on for about a month and a half or 2 months or so now with testing. And it's finally live. It's finally on the App Store, and I have a lot of exciting things to share with you today. Today is just about kind of going through the app. I figured I'd do a live stream, kind of walk you through some of the features of it. I have our website open now. We have a new dedicated page right for the app itself. So you can actually go to berksweekly.com /app, and that will actually bring you out to the page that's on the screen right now, which is our mobile app landing page. And if you see here, you can actually go to the App Store or the Play Store and download it. So it's like I said, it's actually been an exciting thing to build a mobile app, and well, it's not just exciting, but difficult as well. It's not always the easiest thing. But after building the website and everything, that was many years ago, and maintaining that, really, a mobile app is kind of the next step for us, especially with the state of social media and everything too. So today is a live stream. It's just basically to kind of go over everything. I'm going to be monitoring the comments on Facebook here. And so if you have something you want to say, drop it in the comments, and I'm monitoring that on a separate monitor here. So it might take a few seconds for me to see it, but I definitely want to answer any of the questions you guys have. And today's just about going over a little bit of the features. There's a lot of cool things in here. I may not go into all of the details today on exactly all the features that's in the mobile app. I'll certainly kind of go through all of them, but maybe not in full detail. We'll probably do this again, maybe a few different times, and actually go into detail into different features to kind of go over how they work, what they do. But today is more of just an overview of the app itself. And I guess first I'll kind of talk while people kind of get on and kind of see that we're live, because that's kind of how things are when you're live. So if you missed the opener, I guess I'll kind of say it again. Today we are launching the Berks Weekly Mobile App, which I'm very excited for, and I'm glad that I can finally kind of launch it and get it out there. It's been a little bit of a journey to get here, about 2 months or so, from the very idea and the concept of what we wanted to do to actually having it live and everything. So like I said, today we're going to go over some of the features of the actual mobile app. And so let me, before we kind of get into that, kind of go over a little bit of the journey that it took to get here. Because I didn't really share that throughout the process. I was kind of kind of double doing everything with trying to work on the mobile app on off hours, but also go out and cover the news and everything. So if you've seen kind of a dip in our coverage or things that we've been doing, I've tried not to let that affect all the news that we're doing. And we have also a few other exciting announcements as well as regards to that today as too. But I've been working kind of overtime, more overtime, I guess you could say, because I do work a lot here as well, to get the mobile app ready and functional and actually on the app stores. So the whole thing was about a few months ago, and really kind of the idea has always been in the back of my head for a little while now, since social media is doing weird things with how they distribute news and information. So the goal was just try to really have something that was our own, that we could distribute things. And obviously, of course, we have our website where we distribute everything now, which is free. The mobile app, the concept behind that was to give us a way to distribute the news directly to people. Previously, you may have remembered a few years ago we did text alerts and everything. That actually went really well. We had those for a few years. The problem was it really wasn't as scalable, especially with there's a lot more restrictions now with how you can send out text messages to people, the authentication with that, especially, and that's mostly because a lot of people use text messages as, for like scams or things like that. So putting links in text messages is much more difficult. The carriers made it a little bit more difficult now to do. So that wasn't something that, and scalability wise, to keep that free for people was very difficult because of the expense involved in that. And that wasn't really integrated in as much with our website and everything else. The mobile app is a much better platform to do that. Very happy to kind of bring that out. And now that it's live and everything, it's even more exciting. Um, I think what's interesting is the fact that, when you going over it's been a process, getting to know the Apple's guidelines, Google's guidelines on apps, and there's privacy things now, and there's a lot more involved in just having a mobile app than just saying, oh, we're going to have a mobile app. And that's kind of geared us in a different direction, which is a very good thing. And actually, I think that's improved a lot of what the services we have now, and the coverage that we have now. And I'll get into that in a minute, how we've changed. And you may have seen these changes already because we've had them kind of live for a few weeks now. If you've been on the website and everything, and you can kind of see it on where's the mouse? Here we go. On our website here, we have alerts, news, and a new section called stories. So, and that kind of comes out of the fact that, as I guess Apple would put it, they want your app to do something more than, a website could do, or more than just, it has to be elevated experience. And that was kind of important for me to kind of put out there as well, that we weren't just mirroring the website again, just on a mobile app. We were actually elevating it and bringing something out there, especially to our readers locally, that our website couldn't do. And I'm very excited that I was actually able to integrate a few things in. I know a little while ago I put out a Facebook post about, if we had a mobile app, what would you want to see? A lot of people commented with, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, that they want to see different records of things. They wanted to see different maybe county services things, or things that either maybe not aren't specifically public, or they're kind of not something that's easily accessible, and then also to be displayed on a mobile app or something like that. So some of those things were kind of difficult, or just were not able to do. But all the feedback that I got there was very helpful. That actually kind of did kind of create a pathway in what a mobile app would look like. And like I said, trying to provide more of an elevated experience rather than just what's on our website, and with the tools that were around that I could work with. I think I did a pretty good job of gotten some initial testing and some feedback on it, and it seems like a lot of people really like the concept and design of it. And it's also kind of a great way. It is a good way to kind of segment into more of a new era of what Berks Weekly is. Some people may not be familiar, but this whole thing started many, many years ago with Reading Magazine in the community for me, and just publishing positive news stories in the community. And I'm not going to get into the whole story with that, but basically, Berks Weekly was a much more solid way to go after a while, and due to other reasons too. So, the good thing is that now we do community news, but with our new stories tabs and other things, we can actually bridge in a lot more of that positive community news too. So I guess I'll kind of go over that. We have a new structure change along with the mobile app too, with our website, and along with the mobile app, in how we display content, and how we and what we're going to be producing. It's easier to kind of show you on the website than specifically the mobile app for this. So the alerts, the community alerts, we always kind of had those. We mostly feature the highlighted, the bigger events, or the things that impact a lot of people. If there's an accident on the highway that it's backed up, or if there's some sort of larger community thing that's going on, that's what our alerts are for. So we have a new section for those, just dedicated to those. And that's actually more bridged from our mobile app than it is actually on our website now. Previously, we were hosting a lot of that on our website, but again, there wasn't a really good way to do that without also having everything into our news feed. which a lot of people see in different ways via email or different mobile apps or social media, things like that. So now we've kind of bridged that out on its own thing. Of course, there's other platforms that you can see every single small alert, from automatic fire alarms to everything else. Those are important too, and those are really awesome platforms. But for what we do for alerts, it's mostly just the bigger items that are going to really impact a lot of people and are things that are happening in the community. And now we have the ability to add in not only text, but video and photos directly into those pages. So as they're updated, as that alert is updated, you can actually now go back live to it, and it would automatically, through the app, of course, refresh to add in a photo or add in a video, something that we add in, maybe live from the scene or something like that. That's not a capability we were able to do before with the website, without relying on social media or something else to put it there first. So now we can host a lot more of those alerts directly on us now, which is pretty neat. So kind of moving along, we have our news section, which is now comprised, I'll click on it here. It's basically a news feed, and all of the different articles that we produce, from community information to crime, any sports, any other type, traffic and transit, a whole bunch of different things. So and this is the standard stuff we've kind of put out for a while. And the new thing, though, so I'm not going to kind of, we've done all that, and everyone kind of knows about that. But the new section we have is the story section, which is a brand new thing that we are going to be doing now. And we've kind of already started a little bit, and we have a lot more content on the back end that we're going to be publishing on this than we have on the front end yet. But the goal of stories is to have a completely separate section, without having it in the news area, of just local stories and local positive things that people can, local positive stories of people in the community, and also just kind of short snippets of what people are doing. And so one recently, we featured an officer or sergeant from the Coomer Township Police Department, and the goal is to kind of do short highlight stories on individual people out in the community, whether in this case it was first responders. In some other cases, especially when the school year starts again, we're hoping to get to a lot more teachers and actually focus on local teachers, nonprofit volunteers. So if you are in a nonprofit and want to submit any of these, or if you're a school district, we haven't talked to all the school districts yet. But if you're a school district and you want to have a teacher highlighted, the goal is to kind of put these out as in different times, and to create more stories that you can kind of read at any different time. And it kind of creates a good read, and to kind of connect the with residents and readers, our readers especially, with the people who are working in the community, whether that be someone who works for a public works department, and normally you wouldn't really hear from them or what they do, but the goal is to kind of connect our readers, and therefore the community, with the individuals who are working in our community and what they're doing. And it's not a big story. It's not. We're not getting into a huge, any big topics. It's mostly just who are they, what do they like to do, meet the person behind, the job, that kind of thing. So, and it's something I've been wanting to do for a little while, and now that we kind of expanded things, that's kind of I'm really glad that I can bring that out here. So back, so that's kind of a little bit of a few of the changes with everything. As far as the website's concerned. So as far as the mobile app's concerned, though, it's actually, so I'll go scroll down our fancy page here. It's, again, the goal is to have an interactive news app. And so I've already talked about the breaking news. I'm looking at my screen, so that's if you're seeing that here. So the breaking news, and we've kind of already went into that. We have a new section for live streaming video, which is very cool, because there's a lot of different features now that we can do that you can't necessarily see on social media, and now we can do that directly on the mobile app. That includes a lot of different features. A few of them, real quick, are the theater mode. You can make it full screen. There's a new picture-in-picture mode, which is very neat, because now you can specifically click on the video, and then have it actually pop up in the corner of your app. And then if you want to, swipe up out of the Berks Weekly mobile app, you can still watch that live video or wait for a press conference or something while you're doing something else on your mobile app now. Whether you want to be on social media, whether you have other work things to do, check your email, which we couldn't really do that before. I don't really think Facebook allows you to do that. I think YouTube might allow you to do that too, but now it's all in one place. So now our mobile app does that directly. So which is nice because now you can, like I said, check your email, do other things, and continue to watch an important press conference or something happening in the community, along with whatever else you're doing. It's more integrated into what you can do. In addition to the to all those other features, we now have a curated playlist section that more categorizes our live streams. Previously, it was kind of one of those things where even on social media, you would see where everything kind of goes through, and you have to scroll down really far to see all of the videos or other things we're doing, or even on YouTube or things later, you'd have to find where it is. Now all of our live videos are going to be categorized on our live video page in the mobile app. So if you missed something, or if you really wanted to go back, you only have to scroll, maybe one or two to see something that happened a week ago, or in a different category, whether that be for a press conference or if there's some storm damage or something else. Which is neat because again now it's all in a different category or different categories, rather than having to scroll through a whole bunch of different stuff to get there. We also have a feature where you can submit your news tips and information to us, and I'll kind of go over that as well. But you can now submit photos, videos, and text right from the app, and you can actually now, if you allow, of course, the permission for our app to use your camera, you can actually open the camera in the app, take a picture, and then have it sent direct. So, which is kind of neat too, that whether that's for breaking news or something in the community, kind of want to send us, hey, what's going on? You don't have to do that separate and then try to send it to us to an email or other things like we asked before. Basically, just send it right in the mobile app, send it right to us, and we'll see it. We also have a very neat thing, which is the section called Ask the Editor, which is kind of neat. And that's this guy right here. So obviously everyone's kind of probably familiar with ChatGPT and AIs in general and everything. So basically what we did was made a chatbot, trained a chatbot specifically for local use. More or less, we asked it to be a newspaper editor, and if someone was to ask the editor what, whether it's something about, what are the hours of City Hall or, different community things, we actually loaded basically some local information, quite a bit of local information, into a ChatGPT chatbot. And then that will generate a response for different things in the community. And so that's been kind of neat to kind of go through and kind of work with. That was kind of a little bit of outside of the mobile app. That was kind of brought in at the last minute as an option for us to add in, and so we had to kind of learn. A little bit about the chatbots and ChatGPT, and on the back end how to build your own GPT, which was a whole other thing. But it was very fun, and but that has a whole bunch of local information added in there, and also the goal is that again it's not the full Chat GPT, meaning that it's not for questions, any question about random things or national topics or stuff like that. It is designed to be focused on Berks County and the city of Reading, to answer questions, to answer general questions that people may have, whether that's something maybe about history, like I said, maybe something about government services, or hey, I need a phone number for my municipality, that kind of thing. It has already, in addition to the information that we provided it to, that we thought was very important to be local, it also has its own knowledge source of things that it's gathered itself. So it does a pretty good job at testing it out. That is, it does a pretty good job at actually kind of going through and getting responses. As the AI technology is, it's not perfect at all. So it is kind of a brand new thing. I did want to kind of add that in at the last minute and kind of test it out, and it's kind of more of a test in progress than it is a perfectly polished thing. So I'd be interested in your feedback as well for for how you like it and what you used it for, because that was the other tough thing too. We had some feedback submitted by people who tested the app, and everybody seemed to use it or have questions for it different than I would have had it or any and so it'd be very interesting to hear what people are asking it, and how it responds, because my goal is also to have it to be something where you can talk to it, and again, it's not for big conversations. It's mostly for short answers about localized information, of course. And that's kind of the goal, is it's helpful in a few small things where, yes, you can Google things, of course, and you can do these things, but if you need a short, simple answer, or, something maybe about the library hours, or, something very quick, again, you can have that. You can ask it very quickly, and it can kind of give you that answer to more localized questions. And if there's any feedback that you have on things that it should include, we can always go in the back end of it and add more information to it, on what the source material is that it pulls from as well for local information. And again, it's not for a minute by minute type of thing. It's more generalized information for different topics. So it's not going to replace any type of, like, hey, like, what's the weather today, or what's the traffic on the highway right now, because of course those services don't really we haven't gotten there yet with those things, but that would be cool to see if it did in the future. But that is actually a very exciting thing to add in, and I'm interested to see how it goes, and to see how people use it, and I hope it's very helpful. Some of the other content that we have in the mobile app, kind of scrolling down on our page here, is the original content. So I know probably about a year or so, you've probably seen, we've kind of gone back and forth on. Refresh the live stream comments here to make sure if we have any or not. But you'll probably see that we've kind of gone back and forth on events, and not for basically on my end, it was trying to figure out how the best way to display them, and because that's one thing we requests that I get quite a bit is what local events are happening, and how can I know about them, and what's the information for them. And we do have a lot of people who send us events all the time, and it's kind of through this process has been kind of a challenge on like what exactly we need, because everybody seems to send different information about their events, which I didn't really expect. I kind of figured, okay, well, what the time, the date, and maybe a little flyer or something, but people send a whole bunch of different information. So kind of gathering that information and then trying to put it in one place. Like I said, originally tried to do that with the website. Of course, there are ways that I could probably have done that better on the website, but without sacrificing load times and putting a lot of pressure on the actual website itself, I want to do that. We did that many years ago, and different plugins and different widgets to kind of make events work really weighed down the website, and I want to make sure our website is very quick to load, and it's very simple. So adding events directly to the website like that, kind of trying to figure out how to do that in a better way for the past year. And the simplest answer was to add all of that in to our mobile app. And the mobile app now has a full display of a calendar listing of events by each day, and I think I've added quite a few different events up until probably September, October, and things like that. So, one of those things that it's it's been kind of one of those things I wanted to kind of do better, and now that we definitely have that, so now each event has full descriptions and then a map on the bottom. So you click Get Directions, and it will load either Apple Maps or Google Maps, and you can get directions directly from the app now, the Berks Weekly app, which is really cool. That now there's no other things you have to do. It's not like it's just on the website where you kind of have to figure out and then go somewhere else either to get the address or figure out how to get there or where it is. So that's really neat. And then the other cool thing was a photo gallery. So post photos to social media a lot. They're also popular and everything, but it was difficult to kind of have a way to post photos directly to our website without in the context of a news article or something else. So just plainly just figured I'll just integrate a photo gallery into our mobile app. So now that's exactly where we're going to post community photos, and it's not specifically news related photos. I guess you could say they're more Instagram style photos, but that's exactly where we're going to post that kind of stuff, from interesting things in the community, things that we may have found roadside, or maybe attractions or landmarks in the community. And the goal is to upload quite a bit of those all the time, and just to have something kind of fun, a new view, something you can see in the community, whether that might be a bite to eat or, like I said, a landmark. And we have a few up there now, but I'm actually really excited for that, to continue that, and to kind of, as a photographer and taking the pictures for Berks Weekly, I certainly have plenty of different things and like to take pictures too. And so it's a great place now to feature all of those. In addition, not only to having those photos in there, but now I can actually have full descriptions and captions to describe what the images are, which again previously was very difficult to integrate that in, because we couldn't really put it in the news areas, we couldn't put it in anywhere else on the website that made sense. But now having a full photo gallery for individual images on the mobile app actually makes sense, and if you see it, I think you'll really like it. The one of the last things, it's not the last thing, one of the last things that we have on here are local conversations. And many years ago we tried to do a podcast, and the podcast did well, and everything, and that was back when for the pandemic and stuff like that too. So that's kind of one of those things that we kind of moved away from, just to do other things, just to do other news coverage of different activities too. And trying to bring that back, it kind of comes and goes based on interest and availability between other people too. But this isn't a podcast, and that's kind of the point. Is that this is more of of just local conversations with people. Podcasts are nowadays especially are more pre-set up. A lot of them are video podcasts too. But they're more they are conversational, but they're more interviewing, and they're more here's the topic, or if you watch or if you listen to true crime podcasts, things like that, they're more produced into more audio stories, that type of thing. The goal behind this and the audio or the local conversations for us is just to have conversations with regular people, and people doing interesting things, very similar to our what do you call it, the stories section on our website, which is text and those are articles, but the local conversations are just audio conversations with different people, and the goal for us is to add more of those each week, and just kind of listen in, as for the reader, that is for our audience, to listen in into different perspectives that people have, and just listen to things happening around the community as a different way to experience it. So it's not something that you have to read. There's not all these dedicated pictures. It's a different experience, but it's a different way to kind of learn about people in the community in a different way. So they will be mostly they are about a half hour or a little bit more, but we built a full audio player within the app, and these are only I also want to say that these are only available on our app as well, so they are not going to be hosted any other place. They are hosted directly on our mobile app, and that's kind of the goal between all of the content on our mobile app, is that now there is one place to grab all of the information, and everything that we do here at Berks Weekly is going to be directly on the mobile app itself. And whether that be the photo gallery, local events, or news, or the different stories, everything now, or live video, everything is going to be on the mobile app and hosted on the mobile app. So it's right there and ready to go for everybody. So now, as our audience, you don't have to, for example, subscribe to us in 50 different social media platforms, or have this podcast and, that podcast and everywhere, and kind of go along in different areas, or, now you have to, if it's video, now it has to be on YouTube and other things like that. Everything is now hosted with us. And similar to other audio, apps and everything, you can push play, you can swipe up on the app and move into a different task on your phone, whether that be checking emails for work or something, or on social media. And there's a little player that pops up, and on the bottom or the top, whichever device you're on, and it will actually continue to play that audio conversation in the background while you're using the app. So very similar to a live video is that you can continue to do things on your phone, and do other stuff, and then still listen or watch the content we have, which is very important, because not every, if you're on social media, it's not always easy just to swipe up or do something else and have another experience on your phone, and while also then trying to listen or watch something all the time. Not every app allows you to do that, or even websites don't allow you to do that. So now you can listen on the go, and or while you're at work or in the car, to those things, and have your and still listen to these really awesome local conversations. So that's enough of the of kind of the explanation, or the timeline for things. It was about let's see, I'll pull up the app on my phone here. So like I said, it took about let's see, let's get everything set up here. I'll take that banner down, and there we go. So this is the mobile app itself. So it opens you up to, scroll up to the top here, it opens you up to a home page. And that home page has a breaking news dedicated right inside. And then also, and these are all sections that have more content in them. But the home page is basically just what it is. It's a summary version of the different things that the mobile app has in it. So for our latest news, these are the latest stories that we've, or the latest breaking news and things that community information that we have on our website right here. And then we have local stories, which kind of gets into, like I said earlier, the positive community stories that we have. And then let's scroll down here a little bit more. And then this is our photo gallery. At least this is the summary of the photo gallery on the home page itself. Quite a few different community pictures in there. And then we go up and we have our watch and listen section. So these are different videos that we've had on, here, let me see, in the community. And again, these change based on what we upload every day. And so if we keep going down, this is our local conversations tab, and so you can find a local conversation that we've had with somebody in the community right by, oh good, I didn't click, I thought I clicked on something. Trying to do this through the screen here, so it's a little bit, everything's kind of delayed on my end, so every time I swipe with my finger, it's not always right away. So and then the very bottom of it is the local events, and this is an updated track of everything that's going on local event-wise. So if we go back up and then we click on the menu, wanted to keep the menu very very short and simple. Didn't want to clutter it with a whole bunch of different things. There isn't multiple drop downs, that kind of thing. It should be very simple to kind of navigate the whole app and see what you want to see and move on and go do something else. Go outside, go to work, or do something else. You're not trying to figure out where all these different tabs are every time you go to our app. So the first, and the home obviously goes right back to that first page. And so for today, this is our breaking news tab. I'll kind of pull up the tab just so you can see, but that's our alerts and breaking news tab category. Like today, there is a heat advisory, and until later today, it's pretty hot outside. And then similar that the Animal Rescue League added a code red and everything. So these expire and are placed on our mobile app and then expire at different times. So these are just the active alerts that are happening now, per se, which could be anywhere from traffic, crime, to things happening in the moment, or things that are smaller information that we didn't put out a full article on. It was just kind of, you could think of somewhat of like a tweet or something where it's a smaller bit of information that we haven't worked on as a bigger, larger thing yet. A lot of that will then be dropped right here, and this is updated all the time. So if there's an accident right now, I hope not, because I'm doing this and I wouldn't know about it. But if there was, then this is exactly where on accident 422, this is exactly where you'd find that information. And then the good news is that you can then click on these, and this gives you the time that it was sent out. And then some of these do have expirations. So for the weather alerts, if the say a severe thunderstorm warning expires at 8 p.m. or for example, it will take itself off automatically, which is nice on our end for the back end, but also for the community that this page is an updated list of everything that's happening currently, and if it's not currently happening, those alerts come right back down. So the list we have on the alerts page is what's happening, and it's not something that happened 5 hours ago. These are active alerts or active things happening in the community that you can be alerted to. And for example, as I just said, that it's good to be aware that if there is nothing on the page, number one, that's probably a good thing. Number two, it's one of those things where there isn't much going on, or there isn't anything that rises to the level that we need to put on the alerts page for the community. So there may be a time where you find that this page is completely empty and there is no alert. It usually doesn't stay like that for a while, but that is possible, and it will actually kind of go away on its own. Even on the home page, it won't be displayed anymore as an option to see. So when there is an alert, it will actually be active on there, and when it's not an alert, or there aren't any alerts in the community, there won't be anything to select, and the category disappears automatically. Which again is helpful that you can kind of get a sense in that way if there's things going on or not. And so this is the dedicated page for example, the heat advisory alert, and it kind of goes through here to kind of give you a little bit more information. So if we back out here, and then we have our news tab. So these are and you see it updated there. So it updates automatically with. Now these are articles direct from our website, and this is integrated back and forth. But as you scroll down here, these are all the different news stories that we've worked on in the past. Since for a while. So you can keep scrolling as much as you want, and you'll continue to see stuff. But with this. It's really interesting to point out, and how we do things now with our website is everything is newsfeed based. The stories, the alerts, and our news articles, versus previously we had categories where you could then go into different categories. We've kind of made those more of an archive now, and now throughout everything we have just a news feed of the latest stuff. So if you want, you can scroll down a little bit and see something that may have happened last week or so, and get a good idea of different things. And there's always different things happening in the community, of course. But these articles are really kind of a good way to kind of see what's happening. So let's see, for example, click on this. Did I click on it? Yes, I did. So Smokey's birthday. That's an event too. But featured image, the date it was actually put out, and then here's your full article. And again, I think I've said this before, but the mobile app is free, and we have a few ads on the bottom that we will run, but there's no break-in giant ads everywhere. There's no giant pop-ups. Actually, there will be no ad pop-ups on the app itself, no splash screen kind of stuff. Everything is integrated. All the ads themselves will be integrated this way. So you're free to actually read full articles as they are on our mobile app without really much interruption. And that's basically it for the actual news. And then very similar, our story section does the same type of thing. So it's structured the same way, basically. So you can go through here and you can read the entire stories of different people in the community, which we'll be adding a lot more of these as we go through. We have a lot more in the works as well. So that's the stories, and then live video. So that's actually what we're doing now, which I don't have it published to the mobile app. This is just on social media right now. But this is a live video that I did yesterday at Reading High School. And you can see in the bottom here, this is our live view player. And then we have different playlists on the bottom that you can kind of actively scroll through and see if you want to look at press conferences specifically. We have those. And then you'll see on the player here, right, I'm trying to figure, there we go, there's my finger. There is that little button. That is the picture-in-picture button. So you can click that, and that will open it up in while you close or I guess swipe up on the app to shorten it down. Then that will allow you to have a little box in the corner of the actual screen to actually watch it while you're checking email or doing other things. The one to the right of that, the square, will put it in theater mode, which is then full screen. And everything. And then you can, of course, control the play and then the audio settings right there. And then also if you click details, that brings it also into a details page, which will give you the full description, the title of it, and then any description. And then, of course, for people who are not on the mobile app, because we do have this other places, of course, a button to download the mobile app. But that's basically it, though, for the live player here. And then also you can go to a different playlist as well and kind of scroll down to watch more videos, too. But it's very interactive. There's a lot of different things that you can use, and like I said previously, I really hope that people use this and have a better experience with it than the typical social media live streams. This also allows us. Let me get back out to the main screen there. This allows us to do live streams in different ways. Previously, especially for social media, we were putting out live streams, started and stops for different like press conferences, things like that. This allows us to take more control of our live streams and be able to start them up previous to them going live. So you have a continuous feed of things that are happening rather than previously, again, social media apps don't allow you to, or especially Facebook, they don't allow you, or maybe they do, I'm not really sure if they do it anymore, but they don't allow you to trim the videos down. So sometimes, if we started the video 20 minutes before a press conference to allow people to kind of watch it and get involved in it, again, when that goes back out to our social media platform later for people to watch, you have to say, oh, it's, watch at 20 minutes in and move the scroll button. So a lot of times I would start the press conferences right when they happened. In this case, we do have the ability now with our new live player to actually trim all of the videos down, not only for watching later, but also for being able to see it live in the playlist, as you see here too, for watching later. We can trim everything down now, and so the live stream that you see on here will be the full live stream, whether you watch it, whether you break in before it happens or during the middle of it. You can actually watch it and kind of go back and forth with that. So that is actually very neat as well. So going to our events tab, again, this is actually a really nice way to kind of display everything. It goes by date, so you can kind of scroll through here on your own and look at a few events that are happening. We tried to add a lot more of the county events and events for families. And just generally speaking, if you're interested in submitting an event to us, our goal is to feature free events and community-focused events, either for families or for kids or things like that. Of course, there are a lot of either paid events or things that happen in the community. Our priority is going to be to place free events on here first. And that's basically so we have a good representation of things that when and we hear it a lot. What's there to do in Berks County this weekend, or how what can I do in the community? go to the app and you can find something free to do, or find something to do with your family or that's in the community that is fun, but you have options that it's not, here's all these paid events you have to pay to get in, or you have to pay to do this or that kind of stuff. I know that was very important for me and my wife and our kids, that when we kind of look at events, it's okay, what can we do, how can we go in the community and do something fun. And sometimes, and it's not all the time, because we're not in a bigger area, but you would have an event that, you have to pay to get into, or you have to do something else. So like maybe like local sports or things like that. So this is the goal, is to have free events on here, things that you can interact with. And again, it doesn't mean you'll never see something paid in here, but it just means that the goal is to really keep these things as something that you can actually go to, and either it's minimal, but most of these things are free to do in the community. So moving on to our photo gallery, which I'm actually very excited for, because I think we took a whole bunch of pictures already too, and we'll be always adding new pictures to this area. But this is actually kind of neat. So I preloaded a few of these from previous, like from World War II weekend. We have the Reading 2102 steam engine from Reading and Northern, the train service, and then things like Wacky Water Wednesday when they first started it up, and then a mural here. So let's kind of go into. So now you click into one of these images, it kind of gives you a description of that image, and then it kind of goes through. And you can just see those images. So that's kind of, and you can actually scroll. The other thing you can do too, I completely forgot, is that to explain this, is that you can swipe through images this way. And what's actually kind of neat is, there we go. Real quick, we'll back out to, say, our news section. If you click on a news article the same way, there we go. You can swipe. Oh, there we go. You can swipe through news articles too, using the same swipe feature. So if you want to do that, you can always swipe the opposite way too, and keep going back and forth if you don't want to back yourself out of the menu to see another news article. So kind of forgot about that. There's a lot of different things that, even building this, oh yeah, that's right, like I put that in here too. So next is our watch section. Which again, these are mostly our videos that these are kind of watch later, so they're not live. Some of these are from live streams. Some of these are just pre-recorded videos, and from that we did previously. So this is one that we did the other day, and we interviewed Sergeant Bentz from the Exeter Township Police Department. They were out doing aggressive driving and truck enforcement detail in 222. And so a little bit description of the actual video itself, and then you can click to watch the video. So, and that's going back here. There's tons of different videos. And again, with this, unlike the mobile app really expands on our capability and what we can actually do now as putting out local news. And this is another good example of where previously these videos we would have just added into an article or done something else. Now we can actually do more dedicated videos where either we're interviewing people, or maybe like for the ones that are down here, this is about storm damage. We can add these in, and they're now watchable in their own dedicated area that is accessible to everybody who, of course, has the mobile app, but everybody in the community too. And there are different things that you can see now, but the point is we can do more video specific interviews about different topics that maybe we did not do, or maybe didn't do a news article on. And so that's kind of the goal here too, is that we kind of expand out to and for example, the segue into our listen section, our local conversations, is that we're going to be putting out a whole series on different having local conversations with different people, just through audio and just chatting with them. So we have a featured image that we'll have, but as the player goes. And by the way, Justin is a really awesome local storm chaser. So you can listen to this at your leisure. and everything. But we have a full player right here, so you click that. You can even, like I said, swipe out of the app and do your own thing, and we would check work emails, do other things, and listen to this, or you can listen to it right in the mobile app. But again, the goal for this and the other areas is that in the app here is that we're going to be putting out more dedicated content for these sections that were not previously available on our website or other things too. So moving on, let me click here. So we have the Ask the Editor chatbot powered by ChatGPT and has local information. I'm not going to go into a whole thing here because I could spend a lot of time on this, and I've already been live for a while now, so I don't want to keep all this going forever. But have fun with it and ask it local things. If you want to give us feedback on what exactly you asked, I'll update this. See. And tell me what you think of it and how it's going, and it'll be very and it'll be very interesting to see what people ask it and everything, because I've asked it a bunch of different things and it's worked out pretty well. I know a lot of other people have too, but it's a chatbot, so it's always going to give you the answer that it thinks that it's needed and everything. But this has a lot of preloaded local information into it, and is basically just here as a small resource to help people with different questions they might have, or whether it be history or something about the area, or different things happening. Of course, I think I said this earlier, that it's not up to date on things that happened this week or this month. This is more generalized local information. So it's not going to replace any news type of thing. It's not going to be what's the weather today, stuff like that. But yeah. So anyway, try it out and let me know what you think. And then let's see, down to the more tab here. And so at the top, there's a little search icon here. You can either click to search that, or you can go in here, and now you can actually search dedicated videos, photos, and then type your question in there to search for it. And you can now search for different elements in each one of these things, so sound or calendar, events, stuff like that. So that's really cool. You can also now bookmark items and bookmark different articles. I do not have any bookmarked, I guess. So there's that. But this section now allows you to bookmark different articles if you want to go back and bookmark something to read it later, or if there's someone got featured in Berks Weekly, you can bookmark and then share that with them later. Submitting the news tips. This is pretty cool because, again, click either one of these and we'll open up either your camera in your app, or you can add a picture from something you already took and send it direct. You can also add text, and then that will be sent directly to us, which is a neat little feature if you're trying to share, either community information, or if you just want to, if you're sharing an event. Let's see, if you're sharing, like storm damage pictures or something, feel free to send it to us, and we'll get back to you and let you know what we think about it. But this is a lot better and more, I guess, integrated or focused place to send us things now than either email or social media message or a whole bunch of different ways. But now there's a dedicated way to send us direct information, like photos or videos, rather than having to upload them somewhere like that. So, of course, you can always contact us. Contact information's on here. And if you like the app, please rate the app on your app store. That would be really awesome. Let me know what you think. We have just the general information, so if you need to, delete the flush the cache of the website or things like that, if it's not, if it doesn't load something new, haven't had any experiences with that kind of stuff in our testing. Then we just have the privacy settings and everything. And if you click the logo at the top, that always brings you right up to the actual homepage. And that homepage, we're back to the beginning, where it kind of goes back and forth through all of the different items. So we're kind of going on a little long here, and I'll bring us back, let's see here, there we go, to the website here, and the mobile app website, and it's very exciting. It's been a long journey. It actually was delayed in being what do you call it, approved from the App Store and the Google Play Store, mostly for paperwork reasons. Actually, not because there's anything wrong with the app, but those things take a little bit to kind of sort through. So our goal was to kind of have it launched in mid January, and that didn't happen because it took a few weeks. There's a bunch of different paperwork things, the policy things we had to fill out, and then there was an issue, especially even on the App Store, which the app developer people are really great, or the support people are really great. They actually worked with us a lot of different things just to sort paperwork out. In some cases, like we've had it filled out and submitted, but it just for some reason it wasn't going through on their end. So but again, all those things have to be done before it actually can go live. But I'm glad it's live now, and you can now download it on the App Store. So this is the Apple App Store, and it's also, I guess I completely forgot, it's available also on iPad. So if you have an iPad, you can go on your iPad and download the iPad version of the app for your iPad. And then clicking out of that, and then on the Google Play Store, there's the load page for Berks Weekly on the Google Play Store, and it shows there's 1+ downloads. I know there's been a lot. Actually, I have the stats on the back end that there's been more than one person that's downloaded it for Android. So I'm not sure how that updates or anything, but I didn't realize that I have an iPhone myself, so I didn't realize that. I guess they just put 1+, or maybe until you get to like 1,000 or something. I don't know. That'll update. But the other kind of neat thing is that, and it should display here, is that we also have for desktop. So we have, like I said, the app is available on iPad, iPhone, and then the Google Play Store with Android, of course, and so those are all native to those. The other thing that we did a little bit is create for people who are only on desktop, of course. This isn't for people who have downloaded the app. So if you click on this and you're in, especially like an iPhone, it will actually automatically switch you and load the app itself. If you have any of these links, it will automatically push you out to the mobile app itself and not load any of the desktop stuff, which is really kind of a neat linking system that they have, that I wanted to make sure was integrated into the mobile app and into our website now. But if you, for some reason, because I see the statistics on the back end that there are quite a few people who also don't either have a phone, or maybe they don't have a smartphone, they have just a flip phone or something, or they just prefer to see all this stuff on a desktop. It is available on a desktop as well. And this is it. It's berksweekly.app.app. And it's a mirrored version of the app for a web browser. It's hosted the same as the actual app itself. And the goal is to mostly for accessibility for people who do not have a way to download the actual app or prefer not to use an app. It's very little. There's not a lot of people who do that, but there are numbers on the back end that do show that people do like to have a mobile experience, but then not actually, that they don't have a way to do that. So this is how you do that. So the app itself, I'm kind of going through the page here. It's basically the same thing as it is on through the app, and it goes through all the different sections, just the exact same. It loads the same way, but it's basically just the app viewer on a desktop that you can plug in a URL to. And like I said, if you actually do have the app available on your iPhone or an iPad, any of these links that you do click will automatically load the Berks Weekly mobile app instead of viewing it on a desktop. So with the Apple's link structure that they have, linking system that they have, I forget what the term or what they call it. So that's very helpful. If you already have the app, basically you'll already be pushed to that. But for someone who doesn't, this is the way to get to that, and we do have a link for that in that page as well. And I don't see it popped up here. Maybe it just didn't load for this one. I don't think it loads all the time, but there is a way for it to get push notifications on I think it's on Google Chrome. and it will have a little pop-up if you're on a browser through this, not through our regular website, but through the app portion here for desktop, and it will actually have a area that you can actually select to get notified through your desktop, through the desktop app version, of course. For our push notifications, so which we'll be sending out via Android, Apple, and then there's also a select area that you can get push notifications for your desktop too. So they're going to be much easier to use if for the notifications, that is, if you have your phone, of course. But again, wanted to make this accessible for everybody, so there is a desktop app version available then, so you can use it on your desktop for those who don't have a phone or something like that. It works just the same and it will be updated just the same, although there sometimes is a lag time between when different pictures and things load into it based on mobile app, the native mobile app versus the actual desktop app itself. But like I said, that's available down here. You can then go through and click that and get the actual desktop app too. So all of that and everything you've seen here today is available right now on both the Play Store and the App Store. And it's been a lot to put together, and I'm really happy that it's finally out. And now I have a lot more time to focus on more content and the things that make Berks Weekly what it is, and we can start talking to more people and adding tons more content to this app. So thank you for taking your time today and for watching and learning about the mobile app. Like I said, it's been quite a journey, but now it's actually here and now you can use it. So please download it, review it, let me know what you think, send me feedback on what you think, and if there should be things to add. This is certainly, it's formatted the way it is the way it is now, but we could always take feature requests, things that you think that should be on there. One of the things that we do have in the works is to add an integration with weather. It's not quite built, and it's not quite so it wasn't really ready to put out now, and there's a lot more things that go into it on the app developer side to pull information from different weather sources kind of thing. So it wasn't something that it's probably a good 6 months down the road or more to really make it solid, but that is something that we're looking into as well. And of course the goal is not to replace any native weather apps or things like that, but to have more of a resource of things that are localized for weather too. So again, if you have any suggestions or things that you want to see, feel free to send that my way too. And if those you can either send, you can go in the app and click the submit news tip if you want to submit stuff in there, or there's a contact page, or there's the news at berksweekly.com. That's our catch-all email. In addition to everything we talked about here, feel free to send us press releases on different things for the news, local community that you think we should cover. In addition, just went over a lot earlier today about our local stories and our new initiative for local stories. And I'm actually very excited, besides the mobile app, I'm very excited to get to work and actually do a lot more with our local stories and to be highlighting the people behind the scenes, so to speak, in Berks County, whether that be people who work in in different government roles that you would not always hear from, whether that be first responders, whether that be educators and teachers. The goal with the stories, like I said before, is to highlight the people you don't normally get to see, and not the people at the top of the chain. I really want to make sure that that's a section where you're hearing from the people who are doing the work, or underneath a lot of other people who are not going to be, that section's not an area for the people at the top of the chain just to talk about what they want to talk about. The goal is to really kind of hear from people who are out there in the community making a difference. So I'll wrap up with that, and thank you for joining me this hour-long video. In the future, I'll probably do a video on the different features of the app more in depth, whether that be live video or the news stories or things like that, and kind of go a little bit further into maybe like the Ask the Editor and the Chat GPT functionality we have. Again, there's so much that's gone into building this app and actually putting everything together to make sure it's live and it functions no problem. A lot of work went into that, and so there's a lot more to talk about too. But that's going to be for another time. So thank you for for taking your time to watch this video and everything, and I'll see you next.